My photo exhibition is called Defining Moments because for me this exhibition, looking back at the photos I took during my previous postings in the past 10 years all around the world, define the moments which I experienced there, in the sense that for me they are a reflection of the society where I stayed, the countries where I saw the beautiful landscape, the special people and its architecture. And more specifically, the exhibition takes you from 10 years back during my stay in Istanbul with photos which for me are special for Istanbul and Turkey, the country. Then we move on to Latin America, where during my time as an ambassador in Caracas, I took photos in Venezuela, in Peru and Colombia, and they show the specific nature of these countries, its people, and so for me also these photos define my moments in the countries there. And finally it takes us to Baku and Azerbaijan, and during the past 1.5 years I've already started to take many pictures here, and also there it's a reflection of the old and the new in Baku and the moments which for me define the country, its people, its architecture and its nature. My passion for photography dates back a very long time. When I was young, my brother bought his first camera, and together with my sister they installed a darkroom at the loft of the house in The Hague where we lived. And I found that fascinating, and when my sister bought a new camera, I got her old Kodak Instamatic and started taking the first pictures in black and white myself. And of course then also developing the films and printing our own black and white prints. I then got fascinated by it because I wanted to see the world through a lens, and for me a camera is something which if you have experience with it, a bit feeling for it, you can see the world in a way that normal people maybe don't see it. If you walk through a street to your work every day, you might not notice things around you, but if you take a camera and force yourself to see it in a specific way, then you show people, oh yeah, that is very interesting, the house on the corner of the road where I live is more beautiful than I thought, because I never really noticed. So the photography helps you to focus on that and to bring that across, and to do it in a professional way is my challenge, and that is why I'm fascinated by photography. There are actually many photographers who inspired me. Photography fascinates me also because I want to see how other photographers see the world, have their specific genre of photography. But for me, 4 photographers stand out. I think if you talk about landscape photography, it's the American photographer Ansel Adams, which is absolutely the best photographer for me. If you talk about architecture, which I like, I have a book in front of me of Ezra Stoller, also an American photographer who focuses on modern architecture, and he also makes you see modern architecture with his own eyes, and in a way you would yourself, if you would not have this focus, not see very quickly. And then finally, if you talk about street photography, candid photography, there are 2 photographers which are closely related to each other, which is the Frenchman Henri Cartier-Bresson and the Turkish photographer, he's still alive, Ara Güler. They were contemporaries, and they had a close collaboration, and I think for me, if you look at candid photography, how people and street life is photographed, and there are no better photographers. Henri Cartier-Bresson has a motto which is also my motto, although it's very difficult, and that I think distinguishes the real superb photographers from the more moderate photographers. His motto is le moment décisif, the decisive moment. Basically, there can be only one moment in which you can take the ideal photo. So if you look at events happening in a street, at people with nice faces, you have to choose that specific moment, because if you're half a second early, it's not a good photo. If you're half a second late, it's not a good photo either. And that is tried to be my motto, but I struggle with it because, of course, I'm not as good with it as Henri Cartier-Bresson, which shows from his photo. But still, it is for me a fascinating idea, and also the title of the exhibition, Decisive Moments, is a bit a wink to this motto. Yeah, with this present exhibition, I try to bring a private cultural project to Baku in Azerbaijan, and that is because culture in our diplomatic relations is very important. We deal with foreign countries, and very often there is a misunderstanding about or cliches about what the country you represent is about. For instance, Holland, of course, is known for his tulips and windmill, but maybe also because of his coffee shops in Amsterdam. Now, with culture, you can show people in of a foreign nation in a very non-political way that our society is very varied, that we have things in common, a passion for photography, a passion for a certain country, a passion for theater or film. So on the one hand, you show a large variety of cultural expressions in your country, and at the same time you try to form a bridge, because culture is universal, and people in Azerbaijan make films, and people in Holland make films, and they make photos. And so they meet and they start to understand each other better. And particularly because there are a lot of foreign people living in the Netherlands, we see in our culture also a mix of culture. So it is people playing in a jazz band which are Dutch, Turkish, Russian or Syrian, and thereby you show that by joining cultures and by having cultural tolerance and integration, you can actually get to a better product, and you have more insights, and it is not all very stereotyped. So that is why we emphasize culture in our foreign policy. It's a binding force, and it shows you how to really connect people and to try to understand the other side of the divide a bit better. My exhibition is at La Rotunda, at Landmark Hotel in Nizami Street in Baku. It is a public exhibition. After the private opening on 10th of December, it will be open to the public at least until early in the next year. And if people are interested and I have time, I will always, of course, be prepared to meet visitors there and to share with them my passion of photography, and to explain also maybe what's behind the photos I selected for the exhibition.